You are listening to On the Fly.
What's up, guys? It is Monday morning. We're going to do a little something different. The Monday morning drive for you people out there that are either getting ready for work, on the way to work, whatever. If you want to listen, that's great. Maybe we'll do this, depending on how well it goes. Maybe we'll do this every Monday morning. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, cold, cold morning. What the heck? Who turned the heat off? 42 degrees in the big metropolis, Alaska, right now. And I have not looked at the forecast coming up. Let's see what the forecast is for this week. I'm hoping this is just a 1 day thing, maybe. Let's see. Going to be 60 today. Not so bad. Sunny and 60. Tomorrow, 70. Wednesday, 70. Thursday, 67. So we're really, comfortable weather. Not going to be hot weather as we get ready to go. Guess what? In another 9 days, it's gonna be May. I love that. Somebody puts that meme up every year for me to get, and yeah, I love that. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Yeah, I know while all of you guys are going like, oh, it's Monday, I got to go to work. Well, it's Monday. Monday is usually my day off from work, so this is like my weekend, and gonna enjoy it today. Gonna head out this morning with my daughter and my mom. Gonna head down to the newly reopened, probably just getting opened right now. Just open. They open from 7 to 4, but just grand reopening over in Murfreesboro, North Carolina, Hometown Nutrition. Been closed, been relocating for a couple of months, and from Ahoskie, and then moved over to Murfreesboro. I'm not sure what the address is over there, so maybe we can get the address. Maybe I can get the address before we get out of here. But yeah, we're gonna head over there. We miss those girls, Kim and Debbie over there. Miss giving them a hard time. If you are in Murfreesboro and want to check out some really good like protein shakes, energy drink, energy teas, and I'm not talking about the energy teas that you I'm not talking about Monster Energy or anything like that. I'm talking about like good old fashioned tea. It doesn't make you it's not caffeine. It's good. I'll have to get them on to describe it to you sometime. But it's not like I would not be. I'm sorry, guys, for you guys that do the Monster Energy drinks. More power to you, but whew, and the 5 hour energy shots that stuff just uh, put me way out of whack. I mean, it was like, oh, my heart would flutter. Uh, I was antsy, and when I crashed hard. And I mean, I know a lot of people do that, but that Monster Energy and stuff like that, just not for me. But yeah, check out Hometown Nutrition. I think they're open from 7 to 4 now. So we're going to be headed over there today. Maybe we'll get you some videos, some pictures of them over there today. We definitely missed the Hometown Nutrition ladies over there. Stories over the weekend, and I know this probably isn't at the top of everybody's list, but you guys remember Mandisa from American Idol days? She passed away. I guess I don't know if it was over the weekend. Let's see. She competed in the 5th season of American Idol. Found dead in her home on April 18th. So that was, let's see, Thursday. 47 years old. Like I said, she competed in the 5th season of American Idol, and her debut album in 2007, True Beauty, debuted at the top of Billboard's Christian music chart. She was a Grammy-nominated Christian music artist, a platinum-selling artist, won several Grammys for her music. Nobody I mean, I think they're opening an investigation. It said, at this time, we do not know the cause of death or any further details, her rep stated. We ask for your prayers for her family and the close-knit circle of friends during this incredibly difficult time. I don't know. I mean, they're not really saying she was she was sick or anything like that. Um, but yeah, she definitely, and a lot of people don't talk about, people, you hear about Daughtry, you hear about of course, Kelly Pickler, Carrie Underwood, among others that have gone on from American Idol to have pretty successful careers. But hers was a different path with the going the Christian music route, and she definitely succeeded there, guys. She had a great career going, and I mean, still had a great career going with that. It's a shame to see this happen. I hope there's nothing the foul play involved. I mean, you don't want to see it anyway, but with them opening an investigation, it makes you kind of wonder. Anytime they open an investigation, it makes you kind of wonder if something was going on there. I don't know, but our prayers and our condolences definitely go out to her family and her friends. Just a shame. She had a great. I know you guys. If you watch American Idol, you remember her from that year. She did not win it, but she was definitely, she had that powerhouse voice. But she was on the same one as Taylor Hicks, who won. How he won that, I don't know. That's a story for another time. Taylor Hicks, Catherine McVie, Chris Daughtry, Kelly Pickler. Like I said, Taylor Hicks wins that year, but she finished ninth that year. But that's something we probably need to talk about. I haven't really been paying much attention to American Idol here lately. Maybe we need to, we talk about like NFL draft classes, how they were. What about the freaking American Idol classes? Which ones were the strongest classes there? I mean, you guys let me know what you think if you're a big American Idol follower. I watched it up until, gosh, I can't remember when I stopped what year I stopped watching it, but yeah, it was. it got to be, I don't know, a little oversaturated for me. I got tired of it, but it's a good, and then they did away with it for a while, brought it back, and I know it's still going there. I guess they're in the middle of it. I guess Loretta Lynn's granddaughter is on it. I know that she was on it. I don't know if she's still there or not. You guys fill me in. If I don't see your comments, if you want to comment, get your comments in, guys. Let me know. I'll put you on here. We'll get a conversation started. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, and like I said, guys, this is something maybe I'll do every Monday, depending on how things go. Try to get it off going good here. Maybe you guys will enjoy it, maybe not. We got 7 sitting here watching. You guys in Twitter, you guys out there, Twitter. There's a lot of you out there, Twitter. Get your comments in. I want to see if I can get a comment from Twitter today. I usually don't get a lot of comments from Twitter. Usually it's mostly Facebook and YouTube. So if you're out there on Twitter or X, whatever it is now, get your comments in and let me know you're out there listening. NFL draft coming up this Thursday from Detroit, Michigan, Detroit Rock City. I had to throw a Kiss reference in there, and I wonder if that'll get played. During any of the show. I'm sure it will. I'm sure that with Kiss, I don't know if they sold the music to it, their music rights to that place, that Swedish company. I can't remember the name of it. But maybe we'll get a Detroit Rock City. I would be disappointed if we didn't get a Detroit Rock City play, being right there in Detroit. Caleb Williams looks to be the consensus overall first pick, going to the Bears. That seems to be what everybody's thinking. But past that, it's a crapshoot. We on the final score, we didn't do an episode this past week. We had other things going on from all three of us. So we're gonna come back strong this week. I actually have two shows we're gonna record this week, and they're both going to be mock drafts. One with my mentor and my good friend, Mr. Gaddis Hodges. We're going old school with that. We're going to do a telephone interview with that, and I'll have that posted sometime this week. And then we got the Final Score crew with me, Matthew, and Eric, and they're going to give their picks as well. I think this is Eric's first mock draft. Matthew is his second. He was kind of nervous about last year, but I think he's going to be okay this year. So we're going to do that this week. Looking forward to it. I always look forward to the mock draft. I always look forward to having Gaddis on the show with us. And Gaddis is an icon in this area, sports icon in this area. Had a long time show that I was on several times. I'm trying to figure it up, and I always ask Gaddis because I always forget how many years in a row with me and him between his show and him coming on the Final Score. How many years we've done this straight? Because I know my daughter went with us several times in the studio. She was a young one back there. She's 20 now, so I'm thinking it's been like 14, 15 years, maybe more. But Gaddis will have to fill me in on that. Looks like it could be the way things are projected. Looks like things could start off with like 4 straight quarterbacks, maybe. We'll see how that goes. You never go and say, "Oh, this is definitely going." Maybe the first pick with Caleb Williams. After that, like I said, it's a crapshoot. Could be anybody moving up. Depends on, somebody could trade. Somebody could, make some moves, move up, move back. You never know. And once they do that, chances are your pick. Once you get one pick wrong, you think the NCAA tournament, when you do your March Madness bracket, is bad. Once you miss one, up here, and it throws the whole board off. I think we said Gaddis may have got 6 or 7 right one year. That is the most we've ever had anybody get right. So we always gun for that. We'll see this year. I don't know. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of ups and downs. A lot of people talking about, well, this one could go here. After that first pick, it's like, which quarterback is here? Could they get a receiver here? Well, maybe they don't want a receiver. Maybe they want an offensive lineman here. And it's always like that. Look, guys, even the draft with the big guys, Mel Kiper Jr., who is supposed to be the NFL draft expert, how many times has he crapped out on draft picks? It's been a bunch. So, I hope I had a look, Saturday, was it Saturday night? Yeah, Saturday night we did a live, and my main computer was messing up. And this morning when I got it back going again. And then this morning the speakers would not work. So I want to make sure you guys could hear me and I could hear whatever was going on there. But so I hope everything looks good. Hope everything's good there. What is next? Birthdays. Maybe we'll do some birthdays today. Miss Lynn Cook. These are my Facebook friends and people I've got on my different Facebook. We've got 3 different Facebooks. My personal one, we've got the Final Score one, we've got the On the Fly one. So if you want to check us out on any of those, guys, depending on what you like, check us out. Give us a follow. Like I said, or subscribe to the YouTube channels. You see the On the Fly YouTube channels right there. The X channel we're on. Chances are, if you're watching, you're already checking us out on X. Let's see, we've got 10 in here now, so not bad for a Monday morning, especially the first one. Usually, I don't go on this early. Check us out on TikTok. We've got, if you're on TikTok, guys, check us out because we put a lot of different things. We've got old wrestling from for the Triple Threat main event, guys. We've got old football and basketball. We just put we just put you can't do but 10 minutes at a time on TikTok, and in different parts we put the national championship game between NC State and Houston is up there. So check us out there. We've got movie clips. We're just finishing up Major League, the best clips from Major League, the movie, and we put different stuff, clips from the podcast too. So check us out up there if you don't mind, and give us a follow up there. We're over 500 now. If I get over 1,000, we can go live on TikTok, which I think would be awesome. So that's my goal. If you see it, if you can, I would love to get over 1,000. I would love to get a lot of followers here. So please, guys, if you see it in your heart, please give us a follow over there. So I'm checking out. I want to make sure I don't miss any comments up here, but so far no comments. All right, birthdays. Lynn Cook, who is a good friend of ours, Miss Valerie Ayers, Brian Davis, one of my fellow coaches, and an old friend of mine. I won't say old. We are getting old, though. Old friend of mine. Bimbo Coles, who basketball star from Virginia Tech. J.T. Thomas, the older Pittsburgh Steelers. Mark Addix from the Kansas City Chiefs. And last but not least, we have to throw out a late birthday shout out to one of my co-hosts on the Triple Threat main event, the man from down under, the hitman from down under, Mr. Jack Pinocchio, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. It was yesterday for us, so his time is way ahead of us. So right now, I think it's Monday night there. I don't know if Pinocchio, if you're watching, but happy birthday, bud. I hope you had the best one yet. And that's our birthday for today. If you got a birthday, let us know. We'll get you on here. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Huh. So the inductees were announced last night, and this is always a big deal as far as I'm looking. I know who's on there, guys, but I want to make sure I got this right. It's on my phone. Hold on. I can't. It didn't pull up on my other computer like I wanted to. So the inductees for 2024. Let's get this. Mary J. Blige, Jimmy Buffett, Cher, the Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, Kool and the Gang, Alexis Corner, John Mayo, MC5, Ozzy Osbourne, Suzanne DePass, Big Mama Thornton, A Tribe Called Quest, Dionne Warwick, and Norman Whitfield. Now, guys, I've stated this argument over and over for years. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and nothing against any of these guys, but they call it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you're going to do this, just call it the Music Hall of Fame, because Mary J. Blige, nothing wrong with her music, like some of her stuff, not rock and roll. Jimmy Buffett, borderline. He's Cher, not really rock. That's pop. Dave Matthews Band, no, not rock and roll music. Foreigner, yes. Peter Frampton, yes. Kool and the Gang, definitely not rock and roll music. Love Kool and the Gang. I love Kool and the Gang. Alexis Corner, have no idea who he is. I'm sorry. To the ones I don't know who they are, I will check it out. I will check you out, but I just don't know who this guy is. If you guys out there know who he is, let me know. John Mayo, not familiar with him. MC5, I've heard, but not familiar with. Ozzy Osbourne, definitely know. That'll come up later on. Suzanne DePass, if I'm butchering that name, I'm sorry. I don't know who that is. Big Mama Thornton, no, not familiar. Tribe Called Quest, I know a Tribe Called Quest. I enjoy some of their stuff. Not the biggest Tribe Called Quest fan. I know some people that are huge fans of them. Not the biggest ones, but I know who they are. They are legendary in their genre. Dionne Warwick, not rock. I mean, this is what's her name? Heartbreaker, Finder of Lost Loves. That's what friends are for. That's not rock. Norman Whitfield, no idea. So what I'm saying is, and let me be careful how I say this. Okay, let's say there's an R&B music Hall of Fame. Kool and the Gang definitely gets in. Definitely. Like I said, I'm a huge Kool and the Gang. I go back to having the cassette tape of Celebration. I know all of those. I know Mrs. Jones. There was a song called Mrs. Jones up there. I could probably, that Celebration album I listened to cover to cover over and over again. Kool and the Gang, Cherish, Joanna, Tonight, Fresh. What is the name? And there was an instrumental on that Celebration album I liked. So yeah, I'm a big Kool. But let's say R&B, rock, R&B. I'm not even saying it now. R&B Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, R&B Music Hall of Fame. Kool and the Gang's a nominee. Ozzy Osbourne a nominee for that? No, there's no way Ozzy Osbourne should be a nominee for the R&B Music Hall of Fame. There's got to be a name change. I don't mind these guys going in because each one of them that I know of deserves to get in. But don't call it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame anymore. Just call it the Music Hall of Fame. Something. I mean, when you call it rock and roll, people think, okay, like Dolly Parton, last year, does she deserve to go in the Hall of Fame? But of course she does. Of course she does. And maybe that worked out because she puts out the Rockstar album after she said she didn't deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Was Ozzy Osbourne going to Country Music Hall of Fame? No. But looking through the list, the ones I know, Jimmy Buffett, I mean, posthumously goes in. I am a big Buffett fan. I'm not a diehard parrot head, but his music is great. I love Jimmy Buffett's music. Even there was a Fruitcakes album I really liked. I really like that album too. But he's got so many great hits. Unfortunately, it's a shame he wasn't around. He's not around to accept this big honor for him. I mean, it's just a shame he's not able to be there. Of course, he passed away this past year. Cher. I'm okay with Cher. I mean, I'm not a big Cher fan, but she's okay. I mean, I'm listening right now on my album challenge. We'll get into that in a minute. Cher's name will come up in just a few minutes. Dave Matthews Band. I'm sort of on that. Some of the stuff is good. Some of the stuff is like, and I know there's a lot of Dave Matthews fans out there. Kim Early, Crystal Sumner, or Crystal Mann. I know y'all are huge. Whitley, I know you are huge Dave Matthews fans. Sorry. I am not that big of a Dave Matthews fan, but okay, he goes in. Who's next? Foreigner. And just as far back as I go with Kool and the Gang with the cassettes, Foreigner, I go back to Foreigner 4, Foreigner Records. My brother had that on cassette. We wore it out. Of course, Waiting for a Girl Like You, that started everything, I guess, with Foreigner. I guess that was on Foreigner 4. I'm not sure. But, then you go back to like Head Games, Urgent, Just so many hits, and Lou Graham and Mick Jones definitely deserve to get in. It's been a long time coming, and I know they've got a lot of, I don't really think anybody, they're on the farewell tour now. I don't really think any of the original members are in that band right now. No, Mick makes an appearance maybe every once in a while, but nobody in that band. Kelly Hansen, former lead singer of Hurricane back in the 80s, who's got a great voice, took over the lead singer duties a while back and does a great job. I think Jason Bonham, I'm not sure if Jason Bonham still plays drums for that. Jeff Pilson, who is one of the hardest working men in rock music. Gosh, he's got 4 or 5 bands. Former bass player, well, I guess former bass player for Dokken. That's where he's probably most known at. But he's got like the End Game. He's got was there a band called Black Swan he was in? Man, I would love to have Mr. Pilson on the show to pick his brain. I actually reached out. I have not got a response back yet. Hopefully we can, maybe if he's got time, we can get him on the show one day. But yeah, Foreigner, definitely deserving of this. Another one that I go way back with, Peter Frampton. I mean, as a kid, we had Columbia House, I guess is where this came from. My mom and dad were in the Columbia House Record Club. That was back, I don't even think they had cassettes back when this was going on. Maybe they did, I don't know. The Frampton Comes Alive double live album. Had that, played the heck out of it. Do You Feel Like We Do? Show Me the Way. So many great songs off that. And then, I remember going, this is, people ask me all the time because I guess, I don't know. I remember a lot of useless information, and I have a lot of memories of my childhood. I'm not saying anybody else's wasn't great. My childhood, my parents did a great job of providing for us. I mean, we never went without, and we not always got everything we wanted, but most of the time we got what we wanted. And I don't know how they did it. My hat's off to my parents. Yeah, they did a wonderful job. I remember going to, as a kid, and I don't know what year this album came out, Peter Frampton's I'm in You came out, and I had to go. Gosh, let me look it up. What happened right then? Hope I didn't lose you guys. Hold on. All right, so now we're on, something just went bloop on my screen. I'm gonna look it up, see what year it came, because I had to go, and we would make a trip it's about 20 or 30 minutes from us to the, I'm from a small rural town in eastern North Carolina, and you had to go, like, to do, if you want, like I say, back then you didn't have a Walmart. You didn't have any of that close by, but you had like Roses. You had Kmart. There was a place called Brindle's, but I had to go get this album. So this came out June 3rd, 1977. I'm in You. I had to go get that album. I had to make them go get that album because we had listened to Peter Frampton so much. That tells you how long ago I was into this music, and we got it. I mean, I have a great memories of listening to that album. I'm in You was, Signed, Sealed, Delivered. He does that Stevie Wonder cover. Rocky's Hot Club. There was some really good songs on there. Mick Jagger does. I didn't realize that Mick Jagger did background vocals on 3 songs in that. I'm in You was one of them. So I love that Peter Frampton comes in. I've been a big fan of his work for a long time. Kool and the Gang, like I said, we've talked about this. The Celebration album, Joanna, Cherish. I love Cherish. I'm a sucker. You guys know if you've listened to it, I'm a sucker for a ballad. And that Cherish song, I like. Not didn't understand the video. I guess the girl disappeared at the end or something. I don't know. The video could have been better. Um, Looking up here to see if there's any comments pretty quick. Okay, so far no comments, but that's okay. All right, so that's the rest of them. Ozzy. Okay, so Ozzy. I go way back with Ozzy to like 19. I think I became an Ozzy fan. And what year did the Ultimate Sin come out? 85 or 86? Actually, on I talk about how small my town is. We've got about 90 to 95 people here, and we never got cable here. So when my friends were, it's funny. Cable went like in a circle around us. Like we were, they made it where we were the exact length far, too far to get it. You were too far from the box. You're too far from this box. So we never got cable. We ended up in the early 90s, got like I think it was 92 or 93, got a big satellite, one of those huge satellite dishes you put in your backyard. This was before DirecTV came along. Excuse me. And we got we got MTV then, but by that time MTV was like phasing out music for some reason. So we didn't get the MTV. My friends down the road were in the heart of the prime of MTV. And I was the only time I could see videos pretty much was staying up late on NBC and watching Friday night videos. And there was one night I was watching it, and I recorded it. I had a VCR, so because that would be the only way I could watch videos over and over again. So Shot in the Dark was on there that night, and I remember before that I was like, I'm not really supposed to like Ozzy. That could be dangerous. But I was a huge Kiss fan. I'm sitting there listening to a band with a guy that breathes fire, spits blood, and I'm scared to listen to Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Anyway, Shot in the Dark changed all that. I started listening to that, went and bought the cassette. Gosh, what a great album. I'll always have fond memories of the Ultimate Sin. Jakey Lee, great guitar player. And then I started going, fortunately, my brother had one of his best friends was a big rock guy back then. And he had tons of cassettes. And he had Bark at the Moon. So I got him to let me borrow that and listen to that. And this was before they did the double tape deck on your cassettes or your boom boxes or whatever. So I put one right beside the other and played it together. And everybody had to be quiet I got it in the room where everything was quiet, and I recorded that. And it wasn't the best quality, but I listened to it and became a big Ozzy fan. Then I figured out, Black Sabbath. Watching wrestling, the Road Warriors come out to Iron Man. Oh, that's Black Sabbath. Oh, I'm scared to listen to Black Sabbath, but for Christmas one year, guess what? I got the Black Sabbath Paranoid cassette. And I know my mom was like, she was always so supportive of whatever I listened to. The whole Kiss fandom. Her and my dad were both so supportive of it. They were, if I had all the things now that we had back then, I would be rich. I mean, the Kiss dolls, all the Kiss stuff, the Kiss Halloween costumes, the original lunchbox, all that stuff we had, and Star Wars stuff. That's for another show. But yeah, Ozzy, and then I've been an Ozzy fan ever since. He's and by the way, shameless plug here. Today you will see the first in our series on the Fly podcast of Ozzy Osbourne. We're going through me and Joe Decker. We're going through the entire Ozzy Osbourne discography, and we're starting with "Bark at the Moon." So we're gonna go song by song through that entire album, and then we rank them. We rank the songs, and then once we get through with the whole discography, we will give you our top 10 songs, Ozzy Osbourne songs, and then we'll rank the albums as well. But yeah, look for that later today. So the rest of them, the rest of them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, Tribe Called Quest. I'm not really familiar with them enough to give you a breakdown of them. Dionne Warwick, like we said, she had a lot of great pop hits. Of course, Whitney Houston's aunt. You know, she's famous for that, but she was famous before Whitney came along. Give us your comments, guys. What you think on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? If you want to get your comments in, please do. You guys out there, Twitter or anybody on Facebook or whatever. It is now. It's 20 minutes to 8. Getting close to work time for some of you folks. It's school time for some of you guys. So what are we listening to this week? All right. So here's my, and I know I've got to add some to my list because I'm getting close to the end again. Here's what I've been listening to this week. Let's see. Where do we start at? Let's start right a bit. You guys remember that band from the 80s? I sound like Jim Brewer on that Saturday Night Live skit, Goat Boy. You remember the 80s? No. Meh. Anyway, Surface, R&B band, had the, what was the name of that song? I can't remember the name of the song now, but I listened to their album, Second Wave. Hootie and the Blowfish, their self-titled album, which was better than what I thought. I think after Musical Chairs, the whole thing of Hootie, everybody loved Hootie. That kind of wore off with them for a while, and then of course Darius goes country, and then Hootie's doing some shows back again. Blackberry Smoke, who I was not really familiar with, but a friend gave me a suggestion. I mean, I knew who they were, but wasn't really. I hadn't really listened to them, and they just came out with a new album. And I'll go ahead and plug that friend Brian Colburn from My Weekly Mixtape, who is doing incredible over there. We'll get to the podcast at the end, but if you have not listened to My Weekly Mixtape, check him out. He has some great guests. He does a great job over there with that. And I'll tell you guys, I listen to a little bit of everything on my album challenge. And if I listen to one of their albums, that's the thing. If I listen to one of them, I've got to listen to the whole discography. I've got to go through the whole thing that's available right now. So Donny Osmond, Love Songs of the 70s. Oh yeah, Donny Osmond. Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind. Skid Row, which, let me tell you guys, this is not available streaming anywhere. But like I said, I was going through the whole discography. Skid Row, Thick Skin. I think they had their lead singer at the time was Johnny Solinger. You definitely hear more of a grungy, kind of but the grunge sound is in there. But to me, this was a great album. I loved Thick Skin. Johnny Cash, Man in Black. What's that the name of that song he starts off with on this album where Billy Graham is on there talking? The Preacher Says, I think is the name of it. The Preacher Says. Haven't heard of this one before, but this was another suggestion by a by somebody following the show. J.J. Wild, Ruthless. And that turned out to be really good. She is not bad at all. The Kinks. I listened to the Kinks album. And let me tell you guys, I've never followed the Kinks much. Never, I know the hits. You Really Got Me Now. Of course, Van Halen probably was who got that for me. made that where I wanted to listen to that a little bit more. It's okay. The Kinks album was not one of my favorites. Of course, Cher, Heart of Stone. I'm listening to that right now. Luke Grimes, who is, I guess, Casey Dutton on the hit TV show Yellowstone. Listen to his self-titled album. Chris Tomlin, who is a great Christian music artist, are arriving. I'm listening to him. And Kenny Rogers, Love Will Turn You Around. You know, I love some Kenny Rogers. So some of the ones coming up that I'm listening to, this will finish off the list for right now till I add Dolly Parton, Rockstar, Chris Young, it's Saturday Night, L.A. Gun, self-titled, Justin Moore, Outlaws Like Me, Madonna, Bedtime Stories, Avenged, Sevenfold, Sounding the Seventh Trumpet, Night Ranger, Neverland, Stone Temple Pilots, Tiny Music, Ozzy Osbourne, Undercover, Cody Jinks, Lifers, and I'm going to check out some Tuck Smith. Tom and Zeus from the Shout Out Loudcast and Dorm Damage had Tuck Smith on Dorm Damage a few weeks back, and I want to check his stuff out. There were a lot of people talking about how good his music is. I'm going to check that out. That is the last of the list right there, but hopefully I'll be adding some. Of course, you Swifties out there, I will be checking out your girl Taylor Swift. Her new album comes out. Just shout out to Barrett Morris over there. So it's about 1:45. I know your coffee is I don't drink coffee, guys. I'm sorry. I know that's like sacrilegious to some of you folks, but I'll have me a good Sprite this morning, and that'll be it for me. That's my get up and go. What time do you guys? I'm going to get this out there to you guys. Okay, I just turned 50. Robert, you missed me earlier. Hometown today. That was what we led off with. We're definitely going to hometown today. Another plug out. That's my good buddy Robert Matthews, who was joining us for the Monday morning drive. Robert, are you at work yet? Or are you making laps? Anyway, yes, we will be hitting hometown in Murfreesboro today. You guys, are you going today, Robert? I know that's a dumb question. Robert was just at the ECU baseball game. Me and him are big ECU fans. He's at the ECU baseball game on Saturday. Sat through a doubleheader. Him and his buddy, him and his son Geddy Lee. I mean Tanner Matthews. So last night we talk about wrestling on here, guys, and if you don't tune us out. Excuse me. Too quick, because that's part of the show. Of course, we cover a little bit of everything: sports, wrestling, music, movies, whatever. We cover a little bit of all of it today. Last night, AEW had their pay-per-view, Dynamite, and I have not really looked to see. I know one of the matches ended with a title change. The pre-show what the heck? Trent Beretta versus Matt Sydal. Trent Beretta gets the win. Let's see. Some of these guys I'm not real familiar with, guys, on AEW. I started off watching AEW, but it's just got to where, and I may try to get back into it this week. Let's see. Shane Taylor Promotions versus Katsuyori Shibata and Orange Cassidy. So who gets that win? Shane Taylor Promotions? Let's see. No, Shibata and Orange Cassidy get the win. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn versus the Bang Bang Gang in a winners take all match for the AEW World Trios and Ring of Honor World 6-Man. This is still on the pre-show. So we got 3 matches for a pre-show. The Bang Bang Gang, they get the win. So Billy Gunn does not get the win. Okada versus Pac for the Continental Championship. You guys remember Pac, don't you, from WWE? Okada gets the win. House of Black versus Adam Copeland, or as some people know him as Edge, Mark Briscoe, and Eddie Kingston. This should be an interesting one here. Who gets the win here? I'm going Copeland. No, the House of Black gets the win. Edge gets Black Mist spit into his face and then gets pinned. So Edge took the loss. Julia Hart, the champion, versus Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship. Like I said, guys, there's some of them I'm familiar with, but some of them I'm not. Julia Hart, I think, is in that House of Black. Winner and new TBS Women's Champion, Willow Nightingale. Congratulations, Willow Nightingale. Don't know you. Broderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly for the International Championship. Roderick Strong is the defending champion, and let's see. Roderick Strong wins. After the match, Adam Cole, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett appear on the ramp. Cole gets out of his wheelchair. He's been injured for a while, so he's ready to go now. So next up for the FTW Championship, Hook versus Chris Jericho. Hook is, if you guys didn't know, if you follow wrestling back in the day and don't now, Hook is the son of Taz, and Jericho is just Jericho. He's still good around. Jericho wins, and Taz gets in the ring to check on Hook. Hook, what in the world? Evidently, Jericho clocked him with a bat for the win. Toni Storm, the AEW Women's Champion, versus Thunder Rosa. And if you guys haven't seen Toni Storm, when she comes to the ring, it's like an old 50s or 60s movie star. It's in black and white. And sometimes she's the only thing in black and white. It's kind of weird. I guess it's a good idea. Thunder Rosa, who was the champion, got hurt and had to give up her belt and never really lost it. So she's looking for revenge now. So I got a feeling somebody's going to get involved in this. Toni Storm gets the win. And, this other girl, Deonna Purrazzo, who is supposed to be against Storm, but supposed to be against and supposed to be helping Rosa, but it kind of works out like she hurts Rosa half the time. Let's see. Deonna Purrazzo appears and pulls Mariah May off the apron, who is Toni Storm's second. She levels her and sends Luther, whoever Luther is, crashing into the ring steps, allowing Storm to deliver the hip attack at Storm's ear. She goes for a pin, but Rosa kicks out. I don't know. Maybe Purrazzo didn't hurt her this time. A lot of matches on here, guys. A potential match of the year candidate, Bryan Danielson, who you guys probably know back from WWE days as Daniel Bryan, versus Will Ospreay, who is a young up-and-coming guy, is really good. You should check him out if you haven't, if you're a wrestling fan. Will Ospreay gets the win. Let's see. FTR versus the Young Bucks in a ladder match for the finals of the AEW World Tag Team Championship Tournament. And guys, if you haven't followed, and some of you out there back from my day remember Luke Perry, who played Dylan McKay on 90210 back in the day. His son is actually a professional wrestler now. He started off being called Jungle Boy, and now he's gone heel. He was a babyface when he was Jungle Boy. Now he's a heel, and he's calling himself just Jack Perry. And he got some controversy when he was with CM Punk. He was involved in a backstage squabble with CM Punk that got CM Punk fired from AEW, and he's been off since. But he gets involved, helps the Young Bucks, pushes FTR off the ladder, and gives the Young Bucks the win. So now the main event, Swerve Strickland challenging Samoa Joe for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Swerve Strickland wins. It's his first World Heavyweight Championship. He's the first AEW African-American World Heavyweight Champion. So that was AEW Dynasty. I can't wait to hear what some of the podcasts, like Jim Cornette, if you haven't listened to him, if you can get through 4 hours of it sometimes, it's not bad. He will not like this show, I'm sure. He never likes anything AEW does. Eric Bischoff is a hater on AEW too as well. I guess they want to see it succeed, but you know, they are not fans of Tony Khan. Excuse me. So let's get back in the music world. Guess who is back? Guess who's back? Heart is back together again. Thank God. They are ready to move past family drama as their tour kicks off. And their tour kicked off this weekend. I want to look at the set list and see what they played. They're on tour right now with Cheap Trick. So they kicked off their Royal Flush Tour in South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, with support from Cheap Trick, excuse me. Are they working on a new album? Let's see. I want to see where's the set list? You see both set lists and videos from performances below. They played Magic Man straight on at Barracuda and played some of Ann and Nancy's solo song. I'm a big Heart fan. Let's see. So Cheap Trick played Surrender. Heart played Love Alive. Magic Man. Okay, here we go. They leave off with Baby Little Strange. Never. Wow, they played something from the 80s. Love Alive. Roll the Dice. Magic Man. This Is Now, which is an Ann Wilson and Trip Sitter cover. Little Queen. Straight On. They played David Bowie's Let's Dance. Another 80s song, These Dreams. An acoustic version of Dog and Butterfly. And then an acoustic version of Dreamboat Annie. The first live performance since 2016. They do a Led Zeppelin cover. Going to California, acoustic. And then they do a Nancy Wilson song for Edward. Mistral Wind. I like how they put this. Alone. I-10 cover. And if you guys didn't know this, and I just found this out about a couple years ago, Alone was actually done by a band called I-10. But let me tell you guys, when you think of the song Alone, you don't think of I-10. No offense to I-10, whoever you are, but Alone is just a perfect power ballad from back in the day. I mean, that's Heart song up and down. Up and down. You know, they made that song. Nobody would have heard of it if it wasn't for Heart. Great Heart song. Glad they got that in the set list. What About Love is in there too. And then they end with Barracuda with the Encores. Another Led Zeppelin cover, The Ocean. And then they finish up with Crazy on You. So they did 20 songs. Wow. If the Heart comes nearby, guys, you might want to check them out. Hopefully they got they're working on a new album. I don't know that for sure. I don't know. There's a lot of talk. It says last June, Nancy said Heart was working on new material that is closer to what you have heard us originally do in the late 70s. And, you know, okay, I'm going to say this about, and the reason I say they played something from the 80s, and I was like so happy about that, because they pretty much bash what they did with the self-titled album with the Bad Animals and a little the next couple albums after that, Brigade. God, I can't remember what the one after that one was. But those three albums, they pretty much bashed that as they were being told they didn't get to write with it. But guess what? Chances are a kid from the 80s, like, you know, when the self-titled album came out, I was like 12, 13. If I hadn't heard stuff like Never or These Dreams, I would have went back and listened to like Barracuda, Magic Man. I wouldn't have discovered that back catalog if it weren't for them. You know, And I'm a huge Hart fan. Love Hart. But come on, girls. Ladies, you know you you made a killing off of those two albums. And I know you people talk about their integrity, and that's fine. But those stretch of three albums in the 80s. I love Bad Animals. Bad Animals is probably if not my favorite, one of my favorite Hart albums. I could listen to that start to finish, no problem. And but yeah, glad to see Hearts back together and getting things going back on the road. Hopefully that'll last. I hope so. NBA playoffs started yesterday, and if you listen to our final score from the last final score episode ago, we had a nice little discussion between me and Matthew and Eric about the NBA today versus the NBA back in the 90s, late 80s, or the 80s and 90s. I'm not really following the NBA that much. I'll follow in the playoffs. So my Boston crushes Miami 114-94. Boston looks strong. The Clippers without Kawhi Leonard. Does Kawhi Leonard ever play anymore? Every time it seems like, and I know I don't check the highlights a lot, but it seems like every time I turn on a LA Clippers highlight, excuse me, y'all. He's on the bench. He's not there. He's not playing. They get the win over Dallas. Dallas couldn't hit the broadside of a barn in the first half, from what I saw. I think they were like 3 for 21 from 3-point land, and that probably won't happen again. So Clippers enjoy it, savor the flavor. You get a 12-point win over Dallas. Milwaukee without Giannis beats Indiana by 15. They crushed them. The Pelicans lose to Oklahoma City Thunder, and I'm like, the Thunder's the number one seed. They're like the youngest number one seed ever, like 23. Average age is like 23 years old. Chet Holmgren, the rookie. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't really follow the NBA that close. I did see the Lakers get beat Saturday night by the Nuggets, and LeBron's already before it even started. LeBron's already saying, "I'm not coming into this game 100%." So we're already making excuses. I guess that'll be the excuse when they lose. That I wasn't 100%. Let me tell you guys something else too. So LeBron's son, Bronny James, declared for the NBA draft. And LeBron said, I want him to go somewhere where he's going to be a leader. Like he wants to, he's not going to here. He's trying to dictate where Bronny goes, excuse me. What was the guy's name a few years back? LeVar Ball? Talking about his sons, where they were going to go, what they were going to do, dictating what they were going to do. And everybody, including myself, called this guy crazy. What is the difference? What is the difference between what he's doing and what this guy everybody calls crazy? Look at Deion. Look at Deion talking about his sons and some of his players at Colorado. This is where the teams I'm going to allow them to be drafted by. Guess what, Deion? You don't control the NFL. This is the problem, guys. This is the problem. You're letting some of these guys dictate what can be done just because they're big name stars. LeBron. I'm going to dictate where my son goes. He's probably telling whoever is drafting, I'll go where my son goes. I don't get that, guys. You want the best for your kids, but in a situation like that, first of all, Bronny James does not need to be coming out in the NBA draft. I may get fooled, I may be wrong, but he does not need to be coming out in the NBA. What did he average, like 3 or 4 points last year? So you're going to take him just because his name, just because his dad. That's worse than what LeVar Ball did. LeVar Ball was, I think, and I hope I'm getting his name right. Let me see. But Ball couldn't, like I said, I have not, yeah, I have not kept up much with the NBA over the LeVar Ball. He was an NBA player, was nowhere near a star. Um, Father of three, Chicago Bulls point guard Lonzo, Greensboro Swarm, shooting guards LiAngelo, and Charlotte Hornets point guard LaMelo. So he was making demands then. But isn't that just as bad as what LeBron's doing and what Dion's doing? Dion trying to dictate where his players can go. LeBron trying to say where his son can go. What's the difference? I don't see the difference, guys. I mean, we'll talk more about that on the final score. NBA playoffs, uh, you know, is what it is. I'll keep up with who's winning and just hope that the Lakers lose. Sorry, Lakers fan, not a fan. MLB, we're getting into it now. My Orioles get the shutout yesterday, 5-0 over the Royals. They moved to 14-7. Good Kansas City team so far. I'm surprised. Kansas City, hopefully, a small market team like Kansas City doing good. That's nice to see. Of course, the Yankees are 15-7. They're on top of the American League East. Red Sox to get the win yesterday for the Pirates. Pirates kind of cooling off now after a hot start. What about the Astros, guys? I think this was their quest to go to the 8th straight ALCS. Not starting off good here. They're 7-16 right now. I know it's early in the season. They get shut out yesterday by the Nationals. This could be a tough year for the Astros. The A's, the Athletics, as they would say in Bad News Bears. This move to Las Vegas hurting attendance. There and hurting their play too. Apparently, they're 8-14. Just looking through, let's see what the Braves down here did yesterday. Did they play yesterday? Rangers and Braves. Braves lose to the Rangers 6-4. Braves are 14-6. Who's got the? I guess the Yankees have the best record in baseball right now. Brewers 14-6. Let's look at the standings. The Mets are 12 Dodgers 13-11. Wow. All that money. I know it's still early. Okay, the Yankees lead the East by half a game over my Orioles. The Orioles have won 7 out of the last 10. Yankees are playing 500 ball right now. That is a tight race in the AL East right now. Nobody is more than 3.5 games. Probably the worst team in baseball right now, Chicago White Sox, 3-18. Wow. Woo. And they are what? They've lost 3 in a row. They're 1-9 in the last 10. Eesh. The Rangers leading the AL West. The Guardians lead the Central. Guardians look like they've got a good team. The Cleveland Indians, whatever you want to call them. So the Braves clinging to a 1-game lead over the Phillies. Brewers 2 games up on the Cubs. And the Dodgers are a game up on the Padres. So, MLB, yeah, I'm an Orioles fan. I pull for the Braves as well. So, I try to follow MLB more, but there's so many games, dude. So many games. It's hard to keep up with everything there. Of course, getting back into the music world, Taylor Swift comes out with her new album Friday, and there's a friend of my daughter's who is big Taylor Swift guy, and he the Tortured Poets Department, and of course, this is it's breaking records everywhere. I mean, it's 11th studio album by Taylor. And I asked my daughter's friend the other night, I was like, do you listen to Taylor when she was country music too? And he was like, yeah, okay. I listened to her then. I didn't know. I didn't know where, some people stopped listening to her when she made the crossover. Of course, not many people don't listen to her. I don't listen to her that much. Um, I will listen to it for my album challenge, but that'll be, and we'll see how this goes. I'm adding that to my list right now just to see. Released on April 19th, 2024, during National Poetry Month, a double album edition subtitled The Anthology containing 15 bonus tracks was a surprise release 2 hours later on the same day. So she actually looks out for her fans. Some artists need to take, some of you older artists, hint, hint, kiss, you need to take a listen to that, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley. I'm looking at the ratings so far. Rolling Stone gives it 5 stars. The Times gives it 5 stars. Nobody's gonna. The Paste, I don't know who Paste is. 3.6 out of 10 rating. The Independent 5 stars. The Guardian 4 stars. The Daily Telegraph 4 stars. The Clash 8 out of 10. Metacritic 84 out of 100. So we'll see how that goes. Good Lord. Some of the names of songs up here. Fortnite, Post Malone guest on that. The Torture Poets Department, which is the name of the album. My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. Down Bad. So Long London. But Daddy, I Love Him. Fresh Out the Slammer. Florida featuring Florence and the Machine. Guilty as Sin, ? Who's afraid of little old me? I Can Fix Him. Parentheses. No, really, I can. Lomi? Is that Lomi or Loam? I don't know. I Can Do It with a Broken Heart. The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. What? The Alchemy. Clara Bow. Now, this is the bonus tracks from the anthology. The Black Dog. I'm Gonna Get You Back. And that's all together. It's not just one word. The Albatross. Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. How did it end? So High School. I Hate It Here. Thank You, Amy. I Look in People's Windows. The Prophecy. Cassandra. And every time I hear that, I think of Wayne's World. Peter Griffin. The Bolter. Robin. The Manuscript. So that's the bonus tracks. I'm looking to see anybody that played on here that, might be. Post Malone was on there. The Florence Welch, Florence and Machine. Nobody really. I'm sure this is setting all sorts of records. The Swifties out there are going crazy. It's been all weekend. Hats off to you. I'll give it a listen. Definitely will give it a listen. But we'll check that out later on. All right. Finishing up, I want to talk about another podcast that I listen to quite often. It's the Growing Up Rock podcast. Sonny Pooney and Steve. Gosh knows I can never. Stephen Michael. That's his name. But they do a quick fix on Friday, like for your weekend. It's like a 12 or 13 minute long segment. And most of the time it's talking about an album or an artist that they like. And this week, Sonny Pooney did one on Survivor. And I am a big Survivor fan. Of course, Eye of the Tiger started everything with Survivor, I guess, for people in mainstream. I'll put it that way. Survivor's been around for a long time, since the late 70s. But Eye of the Tiger kind of got their name out there. And then there was an album that Vital Signs. I remember hearing the song I Can't Hold Back by Survivor. This was in, was it 84? Hold on. I'm going to check this out. '84, yeah, September '84. First with vocalist Jimmy Jamison. Their second most successful album in the United States. Who was the first? Maybe the next album was a. Um, but yeah, some great album. I Can't Hold Back, High on You, The Search Is Over. I mean, they had some good. This was a great album for me. The four singles were I Can't Hold Back, High on You, The Search Is Over, and First Night. But yeah, just a great album. And what was the next album? When Seconds Count, that may have been their most successful album. No, I don't know. I am not sure which one was the best, but to me, Vital Signs is the best Survivor album, in my opinion. Um, when they reissued this back in 2010, The Moment of Truth, which was on the Karate Kid soundtrack. And guess what, guys? I mean, you think about it. These guys, as much as you want to talk about Kenny Loggins on soundtracks, which he's probably the soundtrack king between Footloose, Caddyshack, Top Gun, uh, Over the Top with Meet Me Halfway. What else was it? Was there any more? Anyway, these guys were right behind him. You know, you had Burning Heart from Rocky 4. You had Eye of the Tiger in Rocky 3. You had Moment of Truth from Karate Kid. I want to say they had another one, but I'm not sure. But yeah, Survival was right there behind them. So give a shout out to Sonny Putin and Stephen Michael over there at Growing Up Rock. They do a great job. Another podcast I listened to, and they did one of my favorite episodes they've done so far is Hotter Than Hell podcast. They did the worst songs that Kiss could do. And I'll have to say, there was some of them. Steve Wright, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, me and you go head to head over that. That one of those choices you made, I can't go along with there. But anyway, check out Hotter Than Hell podcast. Check out the Tom and Zeus over there. Shout out Loudcast. So many. Check out the Right Between the Eyes guys who guested. Two of the three guested on the fly when we did our top 9. We took a page out of their book. Go check the back catalog for us. Top 9 favorite Bon Jovi songs, and check those guys out. But finishing up, guys, just make sure this is the first Monday morning drive. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow. I don't know. I'm off tomorrow. We'll see if we can come back tomorrow and get you going down the road. Appreciate everybody that was watching. All you guys out there in the X or Twitter. Like I said, get your comments in, guys. Don't be afraid to comment. That I love to get your comments in here. That way we can get some conversation going. Who knows how long it will last then. Yeah, Robert Matthews. Yeah, I'll be at Hometown today. Go, guys. Like I said, if you're in the area, want to check out Hometown Nutrition over there in Murfreesboro, let me get that. Let's see if I can pull up their address while I'm at it. Hometown Nutrition. Okay. 212 East Main Street, Murfreesboro, North Carolina. So check them out. They're a health food store. They are actually posting, right? They just posted this morning. They're open from 7 till 4 in their new facility. So we're going to check it out today. But you guys make sure you check them out. Check out the Final Score podcast, the On the Fly podcast. If you check out On the Fly, you can find the Triple Threat Main Event, which is a sidecast with some wrestling stuff like that. We just had the son of the legendary, late great WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Travis Orndorff was on the show. We got a good interview with him. He told a lot of stories. Not really so much of a story about his in the ring work, but it was interesting because it was like the behind the scenes stuff with him, like the family life, like the on the road stuff. very interesting interview. Travis is a great guy. Really, really great to be able to talk to him. Hopefully we can have him back on sometime soon. You guys just make sure you check us out there. Anywhere you do your podcast. Excuse me. Need another sip of Sprite. Anywhere you follow your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Podchaser, or whatever, give us a 5-star review if you don't mind. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. We definitely want to get that YouTube subscriptions up. We want to get all of it up. We want to get the 5-star reviews up. If you find it in your heart and it doesn't cost you a thing, just get out there and give us a review. It helps to get us out there more, and more people will see us then. Like I said, we want to get this out. We want to get all these podcasts out on the Final Score Network. Last words, guys. Thank you so much for you guys tuning in all morning. Hope your day at work is great, and hope maybe we'll see you tomorrow. I got some things I can talk about tomorrow, but we'll try to do this every Monday at least and get you going. I know Mondays can be tough on some folks, but I'm off. But you guys have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time on The Fly, the Final Score and Triple Threat Main Event. Have a good Monday, guys.